Welcome, everybody, to the St. Louis College of Pharmacy Alumni Career Center session, where we're going to be talking about using LinkedIn to land a job. If you weren't able to listen live today, we are going to be recording this so that you can listen to it later on. If you're having any troubles while we're presenting, please type something into the chat box so that we will know if you're having any problems. My name is Kathy Bernard, and what we're going to be talking about today is using LinkedIn to either get a job or to get a new job as a registered pharmacist or whatever other position you're trying to get. I'm a career coach and a LinkedIn expert and trainer. I do that both for career and for business. Feel free to invite me to connect. I'm the Kathy Bernard in St. Louis, Missouri, and you can use my email, kathy@wiseru.com, if you're trying to track me down. The reason why LinkedIn is so important for your job search is because you have a 40 times greater chance of landing a job with a strong LinkedIn profile than a non-existent one or a bad one. And that's because LinkedIn is so powerful. 97% of recruiters use LinkedIn to either find people or to check you out after you apply. It's the world's largest professional network with more than 500 million members in 200 countries, and 35% of those are in the United States. So you can figure pretty much anybody who's in business is on LinkedIn. And it's completely business focused. You're not going to see pictures of people's puppies or their pizzas, but it's really good for finding a job or growing your career. But the mistakes that people make is that they often have non-existent profiles, incomplete profiles, few connections, or little activity. And that's what we're going to talk about solving today. And here's why it's so essential. It's because oftentimes recruiters have what's called Recruiter Lite, a premium account, where they can go in and they can type the word pharmacist, and then they can type the city where you're in and be able to find you based on how strong your profile is for the jobs that you want. Or they go in and they'll type the word pharmacist into their search box and try to find you by location or by the company you work for. And you can apply for jobs on LinkedIn by going to the Jobs tab, putting in registered pharmacist and the city where you're located, and you can find hundreds of jobs posted there. And the thing is if you do your LinkedIn profile well, you can go from not showing up for jobs, you won't even show up in the top 50% to showing up in the top 10%. And this is how it would look if you had a LinkedIn Job Seeker Premium account. You would see how you're scoring for the things, for the jobs. If you had put in all the right keywords in that, it would be gray over here in the little bubbles where it shows the skills. And if you don't have those listed in your skills section, or you don't have the right endorsements, it wouldn't show up. It also would show, do you have the right skills, the right experience, the right current role? So how do you get busy on LinkedIn to score high for jobs? First, when you log into LinkedIn, you're going to be on the home page, and that's where you can like, comment, and share on people's articles. That helps you to show up high in search for the jobs that you want. But don't stop there. Also pump up your LinkedIn profile. So you want to add a banner up at the top where that blue box is, by maybe putting in a picture of pills, or maybe putting in something from St. Louis College of Pharmacy, or maybe putting in the city where you live, a beauty shot of that. And then you also want to make sure you have your photo added into the circle. And that will be anywhere up to a 500 by 500 pixel image of your face and your shoulders, your headshot type photo. And then right underneath your picture is going to be your headline. And the important thing to do there is to maximize the 120 characters that are in your headline by putting like registered pharmacist or pharmacist first. And then you may want to say what cities or what states that you are licensed to work in. And then you may want to put in some alternate titles like retail staff pharmacist or clinical pharmacist. You don't need to use any kind of adjectives because those don't help you score. But down below on this screen, you can see this is somebody that really maximized their headline by putting in all of the job titles that they wanted. And then right underneath that, when you put your zip code in, they can say, do you want to say you're in greater New York City or do you want to say you're in New York or whatever city where you are? And then you can also choose your industry, and you'll probably want to put pharmaceuticals for that one, or maybe healthcare. There's one that's called hospitals and healthcare. And then as you keep moving down on your profile, if you've added a section called summary, it's already going to appear on your profile, or you look over to the right where it says add sections and you want to add a summary to your profile. In that, you have 2,000 characters to really pump up the type of jobs that you want. And you put in the job duties that you've done before, accomplishments that you've had, maybe put your contact information so you make it really easy for recruiters to find you. And you really want to pump up the first 166 characters because that's what shows before the see more uh, link. So then you really want to pump that up. So maybe you put the job titles and your contact information in that first 166 characters. Then as you keep moving down on your profile, you want to add your work history in there, but don't make the one big mistake of not including any job duties. Oftentimes people just put their title and the company, but they don't say that, all of the different stuff you worked with patients, you filled prescriptions, all of those types of details. And you also want to make sure to include the company logo in there. And how you do that is when you type the company name, like Everspring, you pick the company name from the list that pops up. So, for example, on this person, they had the Walgreens picked and the Kaiser Permanente, but they didn't pick the Everspring one from the list, so the logo doesn't show. So pick it from the list and then click Save, and the logo will show. Then as you get further down, you can have your experience section, but don't just list your college, also list your degree that you received, but also include any key courses that you took, activities, accomplishments. Maybe you're in a fraternity or sorority or on a sports team. Add all of that in. And then over in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see where there's some sections you can add into, and you want to add all the sections that you can, because as you'll see on this screen, it really helps pop all the different things that you can do. So if you speak multiple languages, or you have honors and awards, or special certifications that are required for the type of job that you want to do, all of those will really help you stand out, even if you've listed it someplace else. And then you get to the skills section, or if it's not yet added to your profile, look for it up where it says add new sections and add your skills in. And you want to add up to 50 different skills that you're qualified for the jobs. And then you want to get people to endorse you for those skills by clicking the little plus sign next to each skill and turning it into a check mark. And you want to endorse other people because when you endorse them, you show up higher in search for the jobs that you want. So endorse people and get people to endorse you for your skills. And then you want to grow your network by inviting people to connect or by accepting their invitations to connect that they've sent you. Because maybe you have 100 first-degree connections, people you invited, but that could lead to 100,000 second-degree connections and 1,000,000 third-degree connections of friends of your friends' friends. And that can mean that those recruiters can now find you because you're going to be in their network. Connections really count. You can have up to 30,000 connections, but aim for 500 because after that, it only shows 500 plus, and it looks like you're a master network. Now, one way that you can really grow your connections list is by clicking on the search box and going to schools and typing in St. Louis College of Pharmacy. When you do that, then you can see a special page about St. Louis College of Pharmacy, and you can scroll down and sort people by where they live, where they work, and what they do so that you can invite key people to connect. So you could just go through and you could connect with all of the people that you see on the list, Or even better, go to their profile and click connect from their profile, because then you can customize the message by clicking add a note. And then you could say, hey, Sarah, I haven't seen you in a long time. I'm seeking a pharmacist position in St. Louis. If you know of opportunities, let me know. And then include your phone number and your email address so that they could send you leads. And then, as I said before, you can apply for jobs on LinkedIn by going to the Jobs tab and then clicking jobs and then putting in pharmacist in the job box and then putting the city where you want to work. There'll be hundreds of jobs listed, but you can sort it by location, as I said, or you can sort it by company or other information. Now, there's two different kinds of jobs on LinkedIn. One is called Easy Apply, and one is called Apply on Company Website. The Easy Applies are great because when you click that, all you have to do is upload your resume and an optional cover letter and apply in seconds. When you apply for the company website, when it goes out to the company's website, and it may take you an hour or two to fill out that form. Now, one other thing that you want to do out on the Jobs tab is you're going to see a box down a little bit lower on the page that says Update Career Preferences. This is how you let other companies know that you're interested. It doesn't tell your company that you're open, but it tells the other companies. And you can go in there and say, hey, here's why I want recruiters to contact me, because I'm really good at this, that, and the other. Here's the job titles that I'm going for. And I want full-time, I want part-time, I want remote or contract, and you can indicate those. And you can also include all of the cities where you want to work so that they have a clear idea of the types of jobs that you want and where. So this is like alerting everybody that you're available while still being able to be a stealth job seeker if you have a current job that you're not crazy about. Other things that you want to do is join groups, like join pharmacy groups, join your location groups in the cities where you live, also join the Still Cop alumni group and other groups that are associated with pharmacy and where you live. And then you also want to follow target companies by clicking on the search box, clicking companies and looking for like supply chain companies or pharmaceutical companies or whatever, or by typing Walgreens in there or CVS Pharmacy or the hospitals where you might like to work. So for example, if you wanted to follow Monsanto, you go to the Monsanto page and click follow. So I know I've covered a lot of different things very quickly, but the main thing I want you to know is that if you work it on your LinkedIn presence, you can score high for the jobs that you want. So pump up your presence, get busy by posting or liking or sharing other people's posts, interact with people by inviting them to connect or sending them messages, and just be busy on LinkedIn. Work your LinkedIn profile to show that you are available and interested in opportunities. So thanks for tuning in. As I said, I'm Kathy Bernard, and I'm from the wiseru.com. You can learn more about us by going to wiseru.com. And if you need help on like your LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn training, your resume creation, career coaching, etc., go to info@wiseru.com and ask for Susan, or use the phone number that's on the screen. I'd now like to open it up for any questions that anybody who's live on the webinar might have today. You can do that by typing your questions into the chat box right now. And then if you don't have any questions, you will be able to hear this. We're recording this presentation, and we'll have this available so that anybody who's registered for this webinar can watch it later. So now's the time to be typing any kind of questions that you might have into the chat box. And I'm trying to think of some of the typical questions that people might have. One of them that I'm often asked is, well, if I go into that jobs tab and I fill out that space that says I'm interested, how do I know that my current job isn't going to know that I posted that? And LinkedIn tries to make sure that you're not, that your current company or its recruiters are notified But if you don't, if you want to be real careful, don't fill that out. But most of the time, if you work at like CVS Pharmacy, you will not send that notification to anybody who currently works at CVS. Now, say you work at Procter and Gamble and they have hundreds of brands, there's no telling that it's not going to be sending it to the Whisk recruiter or whatever. But in general, it does not send it to your current alums. Can anybody think of any questions that you might have? If not, then we'll go ahead and sign off, but please feel free to reach out to us at info@wiseru.com or to give us a call, and we'd be glad to help you perfect your LinkedIn profile or help you in your career search. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.